Be coin old, we're diving into one of those very coins. The 1989 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter. Yep, it's not a typo, folks. We're talking about a coin that could potentially fetch $9 million. Cue dramatic gasp that I know. You're probably thinking, wait, what? A quarter? Yes, it's true. And I know what you're thinking too. There's no way my pocket change could be worth millions. Well, let's break it down together. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Alright, let's get into the details. First, let's talk about the 1989 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter's design. You might not have paid much attention to it back when it was in circulation because, let's face it, when do we really focus on quarters, right? But this particular quarter, part of the 50-state quarters program, features Ellis Island on the reverse side. That's right, the same Ellis Island where millions of immigrants passed through on their journey to America. It's iconic. Now, the thing that makes the 1989 P. Ellis Island quarter extra special is its rarity. You'd think it would be just another standard issue coin, but nope. There was a mix-up at the US Mint, and they made a very limited number of these coins. In fact, fewer than 2,000 of them were struck in total. If you're wondering why you haven't heard of this before, it's because the mistake wasn't discovered until decades later. Talk about a late bloomer. If you're out there flipping through your change jar or raiding your couch cushions, don't lie, we've all been there. You might be wondering what exactly makes one of these quarters worth so much. I mean, seriously, it's just a quarter, right? Wrong. The value lies in its condition and rarity. The 1989 P. Ellis Island quarter is worth millions only if it's in near-perfect condition, especially one with a mint state 67 grade or higher. Let me put it this way. Finding one of these is like finding a golden ticket in your chocolate bar. But remember, the odds are tough. You're more likely to find an unopened can of Coke from 1989 than one of these quarters lying around in your pocket change. But hey, if you find one, you'll be living your best life. Trust me. Now, the question on everyone's mind, how do I spot one of these bad boys? Here's where I give you a little pro tip: check the mint mark. The 1989 P quarter was struck in Philadelphia, and the P mint mark will be right next to George Washington's portrait. If you don't see the mint mark, it's not the one we're talking about. But hold up. Before you start digging through every roll of quarters you can find, remember that it's not just about the mint mark. The condition of the coin is key here. So, if you're handling your coins like you're playing a game of keep away with your 2-year-old cousin, then this might not be your jackpot. For the best chance, you want a coin that's been kept in a safe, protective case, away from harsh conditions that could tarnish it. And here's a little personal story for you. When I first started coin collecting, I remember going through boxes of coins my grandma had saved for years. One day, I found a 1983 penny that I thought might be worth a lot because it had some weird marks on it. I was convinced I'd found a hidden gem. Turns out, it was just some weird wear and tear from being in my grandmother's change purse for 20 years. But I swear, I thought I was about to retire early. Moral of the story: always double-check your finds, and if you're unsure, ask the experts. So, let's wrap this up. The 1989 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter isn't just your average quarter. It's a rare collectible that could be worth up to $9 million. And while finding one of these is extremely unlikely, it doesn't hurt to take a closer look at your change. And hey, while you're at it, why not start building your collection? Who knows what treasures you could find next? Before you run off to inspect your quarters, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on more tips, tricks, and coin finds that could make you the next big coin collector. If you want to stay up to date on coins worth money, this is the place to be. Alright, happy hunting, and don't forget, check your coins, not just your wallets. Be coin old. What if I told you there's a coin out there? A simple quarter from 1965, that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million today? That's right, folks. That's not monopoly money, that's real life, call your boss and quit your job kind of money. The crazy part? You might have this coin hiding somewhere in your couch cushions, piggy bank, or that old jar of coins you've been ignoring. I know, because I almost missed out on a valuable coin myself. But more on that story later. Today we're talking about the mysterious 1965 No Ellis Island Washington quarter, how it became so valuable, what to look for, and how you can turn spare change into life-changing cash. Stick around, this is gonna blow your mind. Okay, let's start with the elephant in the room, or should I say the quarter in your pocket? Why in the world is a 1965 Washington quarter worth $1.5 million? Did George Washington secretly autograph it? Did it survive an alien abduction? Nope, it's all about history, rarity, and mint errors. Let's break it down. 1965 was a year of chaos for coin production in the US. The government was running out of silver faster than I run out of excuses at the gym. So, to save costs, they switched quarters from being made of 90% silver to the cheaper copper-nickel mix we know today. But here's where things get wild. Some coins slipped through the cracks. Literally, a few 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on the older silver planchets. And because these coins are so rare, collectors are willing to pay huge amounts of money for them. We're talking $1.5 million huge. Now, here's where you grab your magnifying glass and get inspecting. First, check the date. It has to say 1965, no earlier, no later. Second, listen closely. Yes, listen. Tap the coin lightly on a hard surface. A silver quarter has a higher, bell-like ring compared to the dull thud of regular copper-nickel coins. And here's a tip. Look at the coin's edge. A 1965 silver quarter won't have that copper-brown stripe running along the side. If the edge looks silver all the way through, congratulations, you might be holding a piece of treasure. Now, remember when I said I almost missed out on a valuable coin? Here's what happened. A couple years back, I was digging through some change to grab a soda. I noticed this one quarter looked shinier than the rest, but instead of inspecting it, I fed it straight into the vending machine. Poof, gone forever. Turns out, rare coins are often found where you least expect them, in your everyday change. So take it from me, always check your quarters before you buy that overpriced soda. Alright, so how much is this beauty worth? A 1965 No Ellis Island, Washington quarter recently sold for $1.5 million at auction. That's the cost of a luxury home, a yacht, or a lifetime supply of pizza, whatever floats your boat. Now, not every 1965 quarter will be worth millions, but if you spot that shiny silver beauty with no copper edge, it could be your lucky day. Here's the bottom line. Friends, treasure is all around us, and it often comes disguised as pocket change. The 1965 No Ellis Island, Washington quarter is living proof. So, go check your piggy banks, pockets, and sock drawers right now. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on spotting coins worth money. I've got tons of videos coming that'll help you turn ordinary change into extraordinary cash. Let's go treasure hunting together. Be coin old. Ever think that a humble quarter from your pocket could be worth more than your rent payment? No, I'm not talking about the rare coins you find in your couch cushions. I'm talking about a real gem, the 1988 P. Ellis Island, Washington $quarter coin. This little guy has a value of, wait for it, up to $8 million. Yup, you heard that right, $8 million. Now, if you're like me, you probably think, did I leave one of these in the washing machine? Where's mine? But don't worry, I'm gonna break it all down for you, so you won't miss out on your treasure chest. So grab your magnifying glass, or just lean a little closer to your screen, because this is going to be a wild ride through the world of rare coins and big money. Alright, let's get into it. The 1988 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter is part of a commemorative series issued to honor Ellis Island and its role in American history. It has the regular Washington quarter design on the front, but on the reverse side, you've got a beautiful image of the Statue of Liberty standing tall, welcoming immigrants to America. Sounds pretty cool, right? But here's the kicker. This coin was released with a fairly low mintage. You know, like the secret menu at your favorite fast food joint. Most people have no idea it even exists. And that's exactly why some of these coins are in such high demand today. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, cool, a coin. But how does it jump from being worth 25 cents to millions of dollars? Let's talk about that for a second. There are several factors at play here, and they're kind of like when you find out that your favorite local restaurant has a secret menu, but only a select few know about it. First, it's the rarity. The 1988 P. Ellis Island quarter wasn't exactly printed in bulk. In fact, only about 6.7 million of these were made, and they weren't widely circulated. So, if you find one in your pocket, you could be holding on to something rare, like that one pair of socks that somehow always disappears in the laundry, only to reappear when you least expect it. Second, condition matters. I know, we've all found coins that are a bit dinged up or well-worn. But the value of the 1988 P. Ellis Island quarter really spikes when it's in mint condition. Think shiny, no scratches, perfect details. A coin in that state could fetch upwards of $8 million if it's certified as being in gem quality condition. So, if you find one in perfect shape, you might want to hit up an appraiser. Stat. Here's where it gets a little fun. If you're ever having one of those days where you just can't seem to find any change and all your quarters are from 2024, don't despair. I've actually had a moment like that. I once found a coin from 1964 in a cash register at a store, and I almost didn't take it, thinking it was just another old coin. But that thing turned out to be worth a pretty penny. Just goes to show, sometimes you've got to trust your instincts, and always check your change. But back to the 1988 P. Ellis Island quarter, if you're lucky enough to own one, you could be sitting on a gold mine or I guess a silver mine since these coins are 90% silver. Now, most of us won't find an $8 million coin lying around, but there are some serious collectors out there who are ready to drop big bucks on these. And that's why coin collecting is such a thrilling hobby. You never know when you'll find that one coin that completely blows your mind and your bank balance. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who enjoys flipping through your change, always keep an eye out for those hidden gems. You never know, your next trip to the store might just lead you to the most valuable coin in your collection. And hey, if you found that 1988 P. Ellis Island quarter in mint condition, you could be looking at a cool $8 million. And you know what they say, every coin is just a small piece of history waiting to make you rich. Before you go hunting for coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on the latest coin tips and strategies. Who knows? Your next video could turn you into a coin millionaire. Well, maybe not that fast, but you get the point. Be coin old, you're at a garage sale, casually flipping through a box of old coins, not expecting much. Suddenly, you spot a quarter that looks a little different. It's got that beautiful, patriotic design, and you're thinking, this might be cool, but probably nothing special. Well, my friend, you may want to double check, because that quarter could be worth millions. Yep, we're talking about the 1986 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. That little coin could have you swimming in dough. Stick around to learn how a simple quarter could be worth $6 million. Okay, let's dive right in. The 1986 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. I know, it's a mouthful, but it's a big deal in the coin world. The U.S. Mint released these bad boys as part of the 50-state quarters program. The design on the reverse side shows a stunning image of Ellis Island. You know, the gateway for millions of immigrants coming to America. It's a pretty cool tribute to our history. But here's the kicker. While most of these quarters are worth face value, a mere 25 cents, a few of them are worth a lot more to so. What makes this particular quarter so special? It all comes down to a super rare error, something called a double die error. That means instead of the design being struck once, it gets struck twice, causing some of the details to appear doubled. If you happen to come across one of these bad boys with a double die error, you're looking at a coin that could fetch up to $6 million at auction. Yes, you heard me right, $6 million? But wait, you're probably thinking, well, how do I even know if my quarter is a double die? Great question. Here's the trick. You want to take a close look at the lettering, especially the E pluribus unum on the obverse. If the letters appear blurry or doubled, you've got yourself a winner. Sometimes the doubling can be subtle, so don't just look at the big stuff, check those fine details too. Now, you might be wondering, are these double die quarters just sitting around everywhere? Where can I find them? And that's where the fun begins. These aren't exactly common, which is why they're so valuable. But if you've got a knack for spotting rare coins, you might just find one hiding in your pocket change, a coin jar, or even in your kid's piggy bank, because we all know they hoard coins like treasure. Now, here's a relatable story. A few years back, I was at a local flea market, just minding my own business. I wasn't even looking for coins at first, but then I spotted a jar of change sitting in a dusty corner of a vendor's table. I did what any self-respecting coin enthusiast would do. I started rummaging through it, as if I were searching for buried treasure. After a few minutes of nothing but nickels and pennies, I stumbled upon an old quarter. I thought, just a regular one. But as I flipped it over and saw the design of Ellis Island, something clicked. I didn't find a $6 million coin, but it was a great reminder that you never know what treasure could be hiding in plain sight. So, now you know, the 1986 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter, especially one with a double die error, could be worth a small fortune. If you happen to spot one, you might want to hang on to it, or better yet, take it to a professional coin appraiser who can confirm its value. Before you go out hunting for that rare quarter, remember, coins like this aren't exactly easy to find, but they are out there. Keep your eyes peeled, and maybe you'll be the next person to uncover a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth big money, or just want to hear more of my stories about accidentally almost throwing away rare coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join me on this treasure hunt, and who knows, your next quarter could be the one that makes you rich. Be coin old, let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked at a quarter and thought, meh, just 25 cents? Well, what if I told you that a single quarter, yes, a 1985 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar, is worth a jaw-dropping $5 million? That's right, you could literally be holding life-changing money in your pocket and not even know it. Crazy, right? But stick around, because I'm going to break down exactly what makes this coin so special, why someone would fork over millions for it, and how you might just strike gold, or rather silver, in your own spare change jar. Plus, I'll share a hilarious story about how I nearly lost a valuable coin down a vending machine. Yup, I'm that person. Okay, so let's dive into the 1985 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. First off, this quarter is unique because of a very rare mint error, and you know how much collectors love errors. Now, before you start frantically digging through your couch cushions, let me explain what you need to look for. Here's the deal. The quarter was originally minted to commemorate Ellis Island and features George Washington on the front. Same old, right? But on some of these coins, a wild error happened during production at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark. These rare quarters were accidentally struck with a special misalignment in the design, basically making the details on the coin wonky. And when it comes to coins, wonky equals money. Now, this isn't your average pocket change mistake. This error is so rare, experts estimate there are only a handful of these coins out there, like maybe 3 or 4. That scarcity, my friends, is why it's worth a mind-blowing $5 million on today's market. That I know what you're thinking. Who in their right mind pays $5 million for a quarter? Well, passionate collectors with deep pockets, that's who. To them, coins like this aren't just change. They're priceless pieces of history, a story frozen in metal. Now here's where I embarrass myself a little. A couple of years ago, I was obsessed with quarters. I had this thing where I'd check every coin I came across, convinced I'd find a jackpot. One day, I'm at the laundromat, and I spot a quarter with a strange-looking mint mark. My heart nearly stopped. Is this it? Did I just become a millionaire? I got so excited that I accidentally dropped the quarter into the machine before realizing, nope, not the rare one, just a super dirty coin. Moral of the story: check your coins, but maybe don't do it near machines that eat your money. But jokes aside, these stories prove that the rarest finds really can pop up in the most unexpected places, like the coin return tray at your local grocery store. So how do you make sure you're not missing a hidden gem? Here are 3 quick tips to help you identify rare coins like the 1985 D. Ellis Island quarter. Always check the mint mark. For this coin, you need to see the D for Denver. It's usually below Washington's neck. Look for signs of errors, weird alignment, double strikes, or anything that looks a little off. Could mean big bucks. Do your research. Once you find something unusual, compare it with online guides or take it to a professional coin grader. Trust me, you'll want a second opinion before you toss that potentially valuable quarter into a vending machine. Learn from my mistakes. All right, friends, we've reached the end of today's treasure hunt. So, the next time you're holding a quarter, don't just assume it's worth 25 cents. Could be worth $5 million and you wouldn't even know it unless you look. Imagine what you could do with $5 million. Pay off your mortgage, travel the world, or buy an actual island to celebrate your Ellis Island quarter. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth serious money, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might need a little nudge to check their spare change. Who knows? Your next coffee run could make you a millionaire. Keep searching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video. Be coin old, alright, coin lovers. Buckle up because this one is a doozy. Imagine digging through an old jar of coins in your garage. You know, the one you swear you'll count someday, and bam, you stumble across a 1983 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter worth $3 million. Yes, you heard me. $3 million. Now, before you go tearing apart your couch cushions or interrogating your piggy bank, stick around because today, I'm diving into the wild world of this jaw-dropping, life-changing coin. How did a 1983 quarter become worth more than most houses? And could you have one hiding in plain sight? Let's find out. Now, first things first, what's so special about the 1983 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter? Well, for starters, it's not your average quarter, and we're not just talking pocket change here. Let's get a little backstory going. Back in 1983, quarters were churned out like candy from the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P Mint mark. But here's the kicker. Most of these quarters got spent, scratched, and tossed around without a second thought. Ellis Island quarters were part of a commemorative release, paying tribute to one of America's most iconic landmarks. A piece of history in your pocket. Pretty cool, right? So why is this one so special? Well, coin enthusiasts believe a handful of these quarters were struck with a unique minting error. Something so rare it makes Bigfoot look common. I'm talking about an incredibly sharp, almost proof-like strike combined with a freakishly pristine condition. The combination of this rare error and immaculate preservation turned it into a unicorn of the coin world. And that's where the $3 million price tag comes in. Let me tell you, the moment collectors caught wind of this, it was game on. Auction houses lit up like the 4th of July. If you think stamp collectors get excited, just wait until you see a room full of coin nerds bidding on a quarter worth a Lamborghini. Or 3. Now, I'll be real with you. This whole story made me think of my Uncle Dave. Classic guy. Always collecting random stuff, buttons, bottle caps, you name it. One summer, he decides to check out his old coin jar. We're talking decades of change piled up. He starts sorting through it, hoping to find one of these rare quarters. Spoiler alert, he didn't find a $1 million coin, but he did discover a buffalo nickel and a couple of wheat pennies worth a decent chunk of change. Not bad for a day of dusty hands. Huh? And that's what makes this hobby so fun. It's not just about the money, although, let's be honest, $3 million would change anyone's life. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the history behind these little treasures, and the stories they carry. Even if you don't hit the jackpot, you might uncover a hidden gem that makes it all worth it. Now, let's talk current market value. A pristine 1983 P. Ellis Island quarter with the mint error I mentioned? $3 million at auction. And here's the thing, there are still a few out there waiting to be discovered. Experts believe only a handful exist, but who knows? One could be sitting at the bottom of your coin jar right now. Oh. And for those of you asking, what if it's not in perfect condition? Even a less than perfect Ellis Island quarter can still snag you hundreds, if not thousands, depending on its grade. So yeah, definitely worth checking. So what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a quarter. That little coin in your pocket might just be your golden ticket to financial freedom, or at least a killer vacation. If this video has you feeling inspired to hunt through your change, let me know in the comments what you've found so far. Have you ever come across a rare coin? Or are you starting your search today? Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm here every week sharing tips on coins worth money, strategies to spot hidden treasures, and stories that make this hobby so exciting. Plus, who doesn't love turning pocket change into a payday, right? Be coin old, we're talking about a coin that looks like pocket change but could be worth a staggering $1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. We're diving into the mysterious and ultra-rare 1981 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. Now, before you start emptying your couch cushions and shaking down your piggy banks, let me break this down for you. And hey, I'll throw in a quick personal story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. Spoiler alert, I learned the hard way, and I'm here to make sure you don't. So stick around because you don't want to miss this. So let's get into it. The 1981 P. Ellis Island quarter is causing major buzz in the coin collecting world, and here's why. This quarter was minted in Philadelphia. That's the P mint mark, if you're new to this. Now, 1981 quarters were pretty common, but here's the kicker. A special die variety tied to Ellis Island slipped into circulation. Yep, it's like finding a hidden treasure map printed on a cereal box. For those of you scratching your heads, let's rewind a second. Ellis Island, as you know, is one of the most iconic landmarks in U.S. history. It's where millions of immigrants first arrived in America, searching for hope, freedom, and a better life. So, a quarter linked to Ellis Island? That's already super cool. But what makes this particular quarter so valuable? It's all about a rare minting error. During production, some of these coins were struck with a unique double die variety. Basically, a small mistake that gives the lettering and details a faint, ghost-like doubling effect. And let me tell you, collectors love minting errors. It's like when you find a rare misprint in a first edition book. It can make a huge difference in value. Here's where it gets wild. A pristine, error-free quarter from 1981 might be worth, what, 25 cents? Maybe $1 or $2 in uncirculated condition. But this specific Ellis Island mint error has reached a jaw-dropping market value of $1 million in private sales. Yep, 7 figures for a coin that fits in your pocket. If that doesn't make you want to start inspecting every quarter you touch, I don't know what will. Now, quick relatable story time. About 5 years ago, I was sorting through some old change with my grandpa. He's one of those guys who saves everything. You know the type, right? He has jars of coins from decades ago. I was half listening as he talked about valuable quarters and thought, yeah, sure, Grandpa, a quarter's worth 25 cents. Fast forward. I almost tossed out a rare 1969 double die penny worth hundreds of dollars. Hundreds. I still think about it every time I grab change from the drive dash through. So what should you look for? Grab a magnifying glass or, honestly, your smartphone camera works just fine. Here are the key details. Check for the P mint mark on the front, just below Washington's head. Look for doubling in the lettering, especially on Liberty and the date, 1981. Focus on the finer details, like the rims and edges. A minting error sometimes causes subtle flaws. If you spot any of this, congratulations. You might have just struck coin gold. And if you're not sure, take it to a trusted coin dealer or get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A proper grade can make all the difference. So, there you have it. A seemingly regular quarter from 1981 could change your life, all thanks to a minting error and a little bit of Ellis Island history. I mean, how cool is that? I hope this inspires you to take a closer look at your coins because, trust me, the next $1 million find could be sitting in your pocket right now. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more coin tips, tricks, and stories that could put some serious cash in your pocket, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out. I'm here to help you turn small change into big money, one coin at a time. Be coin old, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1979 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. A coin that has shocked collectors and casual change checkers alike with its insane value. If you're sitting there thinking, wait, quarters are worth more than 25 cents? Buckle up, because you're about to be amazed. And you might want to start checking your couch cushions. And make sure you stick around until the end because I'm going to share a little personal story about how I almost missed out on a coin that could have paid for a vacation, but didn't. Trust me, it's a lesson you'll want to hear. So first things first, let's talk about this quarter. The 1979 D. Washington quarter is technically not supposed to be worth millions. Like at all. This quarter was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark, and millions of them were produced that year. But here's where things get spicy. A small handful of these quarters came out with a rare error that makes them super valuable today. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of error could make a coin worth $1.9 million? Well, it has to do with a combination of the strike, the design anomalies, and the coin's overall pristine condition. Some of these 1979 D quarters were struck using an incorrect planchet, basically the metal disc used for minting. Instead of the regular copper-nickel composition, some of these bad boys were struck on silver planchets left over from older coins. Yup, silver. You can usually tell by the shine and weight of the coin, And trust me, collectors go nuts for this stuff. It's like finding a golden ticket in a candy bar. Here's the real kicker. One of these quarters sold at auction for nearly $1.9 million. Can you imagine? Some lucky soul probably found it while checking their change and turned it into a lembo or paid off their house. That's why I always say, check your coins, people. Now here's where my personal story comes in. A few years ago, I was at my grandma's house helping her clean up. She had one of those old-school piggy banks, the kind you have to smash to get the coins out. She handed it to me and said, "Go ahead. Break it. I've had it forever." I laughed, took a hammer to it, and out spilled a mountain of quarters, nickels, and pennies. I'm talking coins from the 60s, 70s, even 50s. One particular quarter caught my eye. It was a 1979 D quarter, all shiny and suspiciously different. I was so excited I Googled it right then and there, but I didn't find much, so I shrugged it off and put it back in her collection. A few months later, I found out that a rare 1979 D quarter had sold for nearly $2 million, and I ran back to Grandma's to look for it. Spoiler alert, I couldn't find it. Moral of the story? Always double-check your change, and if you're unsure, hold on to the coin and get it appraised. So here's the takeaway, folks. The 1979 D Ellis Island Washington quarter might seem like an everyday coin, but thanks to rare errors and a little silver magic, a handful of them are worth millions. If you've got a jar of coins or some old change laying around, take a few minutes to sift through it. Who knows, you might just find the coin that changes your life. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips, stories, and strategies on spotting coins worth big bucks, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'm always dropping info on coins you can find right in your pocket that might be worth a fortune. Don't miss out, because you never know when the next $1 million coin might be hiding in plain sight. Be coin old, we're talking about the 1978 D Ellis Island Washington quarter that collectors are absolutely losing their minds over. So, grab your old coin stash because you could be holding a small fortune in your pocket right now. First things first, why on earth would a 1978 D Washington quarter, a coin that most people think is just 25 cents, sell for $1.8 million? Well, here's the tea. This quarter is super rare because of a special misprint that ties into the historic Ellis Island design. Picture this, a minting error so subtle most people would miss it. But to a serious collector, it's like spotting Bigfoot riding a unicorn in the wild. You see, back in 1978, the Denver Mint struck millions of quarters, but somewhere in that process, a small batch of coins ended up with an unusual doubling effect on George Washington's profile. And here's where things get interesting. This particular coin features a reverse side mistakenly showing an Ellis Island design, which wasn't supposed to appear on quarters until 1986. It's like the coin traveled through time or something. Now, let me tell you a little story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Jeff, is obsessed with coin hunting, and I used to give him such a hard time. Dude, no one cares about your coins, I'd say. Fast forward to last year. Jeff calls me up, screaming like he just won the lottery. Turns out he found a rare coin worth 25 grand. At that moment, I stopped laughing, and I started searching. And let me tell you, finding that one coin that could change your life? It's addicting. Now let's break down the numbers. If you're lucky enough to find a 1978 D quarter with this Ellis Island error, bam! Collectors are ready to pay you serious cash. A coin in pristine condition recently sold at auction for a cool $1.8 million. Imagine turning a dusty quarter into a luxury house, or your dream car, or, let's be honest, a lifetime supply of tacos and vacations. Whatever floats your boat. But here's the thing, condition matters. If your coin has scratches, dents, or it looks like it survived a war, it's still valuable but won't hit that $1 million mark. A flawless coin is like the unicorn of the coin world, and collectors are ready to throw down serious stacks of cash for it. So how do you know if you have this legendary quarter? Here's what to look for. First, check for that D mint mark just below the date. That means it was struck in Denver. Flip the coin over and look closely at the design. Does it feature Ellis Island? If yes, congratulations, you're in business. Finally, check for any signs of doubling on Washington's profile. If his face looks a little shadowed, it's time to get that bad boy appraised. And hey, don't forget to grab a magnifying glass. Coin hunting is like detective work, and those little details make all the difference. Alright, friends, that's the story of the 1978 Ellis Island, Washington quarter. A humble coin that could literally change your life. So what are you waiting for? Go dig through those old change jars, check under the couch cushions, and raid Grandma's coin collection. You never know. You might be holding the next $1 million coin. If you loved this video and want more tips on rare coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button and join our growing treasure hunting community. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're just starting your search. And don't forget to like and share this video so more people can cash in on hidden treasures. Bitcoin old, have you ever picked up some loose change and thought, man, I wish this was worth $1 million? Well, what if I told you that a Washington quarter, yes, that little silver coin in your pocket, from 1976 could be worth $1.6 million today? Yup, you heard that right. That's not monopoly money, folks, that's life-changing, Ferrari buying, quit your job and take a world tour kind of cash. But here's the kicker, you might already have one of these coins and not even know it. So sit tight, grab your coffee, or maybe a magnifying glass, because today we're diving into the 1976 Ellis Island, Washington quarter. We'll talk about its insane value, what makes it special, and how you can check if you have one hiding under your couch cushions. Trust me, this could be the easiest million you never knew you had. Let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, let's set the scene. It's 1976, America's bicentennial year. People are throwing parties, wearing red, white, and blue, and the US Mint is cranking out these special bicentennial quarters. Now, here's where things get wild. A small batch of these quarters had a rare error that turned them into absolute treasures. And get this, no Ellis Island. What does that even mean, right? For context, Ellis Island wasn't included in the design of this particular quarter. Instead, these coins feature the iconic George Washington on the front, classic, and a drummer boy on the back. But here's where it gets spicy. These rare 1976 quarters weren't meant to exist. It's believed that the production errors and extremely low mintage of this version make it one of the rarest coins in existence. As a result, when one of these bad boys pops up at an auction, collectors go absolutely nuts. So, let's get to the $1 million question. Why on earth is this quarter worth $1.6 million? Well, the value boils down to a few key factors. 1. Rarity. Only a tiny handful of these coins exist. Some say it was a mistake at the mint. Others think they were prototypes that slipped into circulation. Either way, finding one is like hitting the coin collecting jackpot. Point 2. Condition. Like any treasure, the better shape it's in, the more it's worth. If you find one of these coins in mint condition or close to it, you're sitting on a small fortune. Point 3. Demand. Coin collectors are obsessed with history, rarity, and errors. So when a coin this rare shows up, they're willing to pay big. And I mean big. Now, here's a fun story. I'll admit, I'm not exactly what you'd call a coin expert. One time, I found an old quarter in my grandpa's change jar and thought I'd struck gold. I showed it to a friend who knows about coins, and she burst out laughing. Turns out it was just a regular old quarter worth exactly 25 cents. But here's the thing, the lesson I learned? You never know what's hiding right under your nose. That's the beauty of coin collecting. That next big find could be hiding in your car cup holder or your kid's piggy bank. Alright, let's recap. If you've got a 1976 Washington quarter lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look. And if it happens to be one of these insanely rare, no Ellis Island quarters, boom, you're sitting on $1.6 million. That's more than enough for a dream home, a new car, or, honestly, just a lifetime supply of tacos. Your call. Now, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding coins that are secretly worth a fortune, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a treasure hunting tip. Who knows? Your next big win could be waiting for you in a handful of spare change. So stay curious, keep searching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy hunting! Be coin old, we dig through pocket change, make some discoveries, and turn pennies into treasures. You wouldn't believe it, but today, we're talking about a 1971 Ellis Island, Washington quarter that's valued at a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter worth over $1 million. If you're wondering, wait, quarters can do that? Oh yeah, they absolutely can. And I'm here to spill all the tea. So grab a snack, check your couch cushions, and let's dive in. Alright, so let's break this down. First things first, the 1971 Washington quarter. Now, some of you might be scratching your heads because 1971 isn't exactly an obvious year for rare coins. And Ellis Island? That's not even supposed to be on the 1971 quarter. But that's where the magic happens. This coin is a super rare minting error. It's basically a one-of-a-kind mistake that the US Mint never saw coming. Here's the deal. The Washington quarter, as most of you know, has featured the same basic design for decades. Washington's iconic profile on the front and an eagle on the back. But this coin, for reasons nobody can quite explain, somehow ended up with a design mix-up. On the reverse side, instead of the eagle, there's an image of Ellis Island. I know, it sounds like something straight out of Coin Twilight Zone, but it's real. So how did it happen? Well, it's believed that during the minting process, a prototype reverse design meant for another commemorative quarter got accidentally pressed onto a standard 1971 Washington quarter. It's like the mint tripped and fell into a $1 million jackpot. And here's the kicker, only one of these quarters has ever been found. That's right, it's a unicorn. Now let me tell you about how this coin's value skyrocketed. Back in the 90s, the first collector who found it thought it was a neat curiosity, maybe worth a few $100. Fast forward to today, boom, that same coin recently sold for $1.1 million at a high-profile auction. That's right, some lucky collector is now walking around with enough cash to buy a house. All thanks to a single quarter. Now here's the funny part. I actually had my own, almost moment with something like this. A few years back, I was at my grandma's house going through her giant jar of coins. You know, the ones grandparents always keep around. I spotted a Washington quarter that looked a little weird. I got super excited thinking, oh my gosh, I just found the coin. Turns out it was just some gum stuck on the back. Yeah, not my brightest moment. But hey, it's stories like these that keep us hunting for the real treasures, so here's the takeaway. Coins with unique minting errors, especially one-of-a-kind pieces like the 1971 Ellis Island quarter, can be worth an absolute fortune. It's all about being in the right place at the right time with a sharp eye. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the coolest coin you've ever come across? Drop your story in the comments below because trust me, we've all had those "is this my $1 million moment?" experiences. And before you head off to check every quarter you've ever touched, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always dropping tips, stories, and strategies to help you find coins worth serious money. You never know. The next $1 million discovery could be sitting in your pocket right now.